Duane Washington Jr. breaks a Pacers rookie record. Getting to know more about Ohio State's new defense. Today it's all about the Leo position and what Buckeyes might fit this role. All that and more right here on Locked On Buckeyes.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Buckeye fans? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Buckeyes for the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. It is Tuesday, January 25th in the year 2022. And today's episode is brought to you by Sonos. Experience the game like never before with Sonos Arc, the premium smart soundbar for TV, movies, music, gaming, and more. Visit Sonos.com to learn more. I would also like to thank everyone out there, yes, even you, for making Locked On Buckeyes their first listen of every single day. When Duane Washington Jr.'s career ended at Ohio State, many people knew he would play professional basketball somewhere. May it be in the NBA, may it be overseas, he was going to be a professional basketball player. Now, the thing about the NBA was, what role would he play? Would it be G League first and then go to the NBA? Would it be straight NBA and stick there? Would it be back and forth, have a two-way contract? What kind of role would he have contract-wise? And what type of player would he be at the next level? Duane Washington Jr. is on the Indiana Pacers, and the Pacers are a team that are an embarrassment right now, which is honestly might be a weird way for him to get more playing time initially than he would be if he was on an average team. The Pacers have a lot of issues from the management to the owners and a lot of stuff in between. And now we have Duane Washington Jr., who has gone back and forth, gone from the Mad Ants, which is their G League Fort Wayne Mad Ants, which is their G League team affiliate. And he's gone to the Pacers back and forth and back and forth. And he's had some flashes of some pretty good plays. Well, on Monday evening, Duane Washington Jr. broke the rookie record for most three-pointers made in one game with 7. The two other people that had 6, Chuck Person and Chris Duarte. Chris Duarte is actually a rookie just like Duane Washington Jr. We can learn a lot from Junior. I've been calling him that last year during the season. I like nicknames, so Junior was the one that went with him. We can learn a lot from Junior because from his freshman season to sophomore season to junior season, you saw a progression in his assist, in his rebounding, in his leadership, in his points, and he was somebody that Chris Holtmann could lean on down the stretch to the tune that even in the Big Ten Conference tournament last year, we saw a lot of people really see how well and how much Duane Washington Jr. had flourished and had grown as a player, as he had taken over games at times, even during the latter parts of the regular season last year. Junior is a player that I think everybody listening to this can realize and say, hey, I might be that person that at one point I was not the guy that I am now. I was not. I am not the guy that people think should be here. Some people may think that he should not be there. I think Junior deserves a shot, or he has earned the right to have a shot in the NBA, and he's taking full advantage of it. And like I mentioned, the Pacers are not good at all. Many of you know I live in Indiana. I've been a Pacers fan my entire life. Due to this Bally Sports fiasco, I haven't watched a Pacers game via Bally Sports at all year. I haven't been able to. And so that's been me. I've watched a few Pacers games, but your boy don't like watching blowouts. Your boy don't like watching his team lose. And so I may turn the game on, but I ain't staying very long if you're not looking too hot. But then there's Duane Washington Jr., and he is really blossoming. And this is not the first time that he has shown flashes of good play or a player that could have a sustained NBA career. He may be an NBA journeyman. He may play 10 years, play on seven teams, which isn't bad. Look at Jim Jackson's career. I think he played 12 years, and he can rattle off how many teams he played on in order, honestly. I don't know how he does it. Athletes are a different breed. But he can tell you, I played on this many teams in this order on my 12-year career. There's nothing wrong with being an NBA journeyman. There's nothing wrong with being a player that is fighting and crawling and doing everything needed to make sure everybody here knows I belong in this league. I may never be an all-star. I may never be a player that is a household name. But one thing that I can be is a player that keeps working, keeps fighting, keeps getting better, keeps working on the little details. One thing Junior did last year that I think he could do in the NBA, his use of angles. I mean, he gets the ball, let's say he's on the right wing. Well, he knows how to use where he is on the court, where you are on the court, utilize the angles properly to either get a mid-range jump shot, get to the hole to get a layup, or create for someone else. He used angles very well last year. And that's something that in the NBA, if you have a niche or if you have something that really is your staple, that's a great way to have a long, sustained career as well. And Junior can do that very thing in the NBA because he works. Working is not something that everybody wants to do. Working is just something that even people that work a lot, that they want to do. No. A little rest and relaxation, a little fun in the sun, a little time away from this cold weather we have right now. Yeah, and if you're gone for a week, yeah, nobody wants to work. Are you crazy? Yeah, no. Working on your game is hard. It may be, yeah, playing a basketball game is fun, but working on your craft, working on your game is hard work. Very, very hard. And we're watching Junior. This is only his rookie season. Already breaking a Pacers rookie record with 7 3-pointers in one game. And in this game, let me tell you, he was doing things. He was avoiding defenders, pump faking, sidestep dribble 2 to the left, doing a lot of the things he did in college, but doing it comfortable, at a comfortable clip in the NBA. Junior, I'm happy the record is yours for now. With the way that you and Duarte are playing, one of you two might break that thing very, very soon. And I hope down the road, maybe you are a solid piece on the Pacers roster and you're not going back and forth between Indianapolis and Fort Wayne to continue that two-way contract. BetOnline would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the number one spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. New year and a new updated desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, and it's all one word to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. You are tapped into Locked On Buckeyes here on a Tuesday, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. The rest of the show is about the Leo position. We hinted at it yesterday. Well, we talked about it yesterday. But what is this guy? Who is this guy? Why is this a needed change for Ohio State? And how will it be implemented and utilized throughout this upcoming season? The Leo position is a hybrid linebacker. Sometimes he'll line up as a defensive end in a 2-point stance. Sometimes he'll line up in the A gap or B gap in a 2-point stance. Sometimes he'll line up in the middle linebacker spot, more of a stack right behind the nose tackle, because there are going to be 3 down linemen in this defense. Still in a 2-point stance when he's in that linebacker spot. If he's in an outside linebacker spot, still in a 2-point stance. This is a guy that is going to have different responsibilities. Sometimes he'll be asked to rush the quarterback. Sometimes he'll be asked to an RPO or just a regular read option or even a triple option. He's going to literally have to be the read and react type of guy. What's my read on the option? Oh, I have the pitch man. Okay, great. I have pitch man on an option, on a triple option or an option. Great. I have this guy. That's who I am. That's my read no matter what. Sometimes the Leo will drop into coverage. Sometimes he'll even play man-to-man. It's somebody that you'll have to really trust as a coach, somebody that's very versatile, that can adjust on the fly as teams motion on the field. This guy's going to have to say, well, nope, forget that previous call. This is what the next call is going to be. The Leo position height-wise, roughly 6'2" to 6'5". Weight-wise, roughly 235 to 255. That's probably the sweet spot. I think anything less than that, if you go 225, 220, that's too light, especially when you're going to be inside the trenches. Those offensive linemen will just eat you up. 40-yard dash time, maybe 4.5, maybe to 4.65. 4.65, maybe a little too slow when you're playing man-to-man against a lot of these teams, but it's a lot. It'll work very, very well. Those are just some rough things there for this Leo position. And I do think that when you think about the Big Ten and what the Big Ten does offensively, you have Purdue that sometimes will run four wide and a running back in the backfield. You got Purdue that sometimes will have a tight end, will have two receivers, and have a variation of things there with you to where you have no idea what's going to come, because normally Aiden O'Connell just slinging that rock all around the field, and based off the personnel that's on the field, that might not be the play at that time. You have teams like Wisconsin, teams like Iowa that are two tight end, two backs, and sometimes three tight ends. Sometimes they bring in an offensive lineman to add in there. Very much old school mindsets at times. But Wisconsin, they still have good running backs. So you don't know what's going to happen. And this is going to allow Ohio State's defense to sometimes dictate the pace, because they don't know what this guy's going to do. They don't know where he's going to go. If he's in the middle, if he's at a middle linebacker, is he going to be blitzing? Now, this is not just going to be like any old middle linebacker. No, because this guy's responsibilities, not your traditional linebacker, not the traditional way that you're used to seeing a linebacker play the football. Because we're used to, a lot of times, if you're an outside linebacker standing up 2-point stance on the line, you're there all the time. Almost a 3-4 defense, but you don't drop back into playing linebacker. You're not even good at dropping back into coverage. You're good at setting the edge, standing up there, kind of dictating the pace as you see fit, and doing all of those things. But this Leo guy, he is going to be all over the place. Remember, Browns fans may hate this. Remember Troy Polamalu? How Troy Polamalu used to line up all over the field? Literally all over the field. And you may have been like, man, I don't like this guy. I don't like him at all. Why? Because I don't know what he's going to do. Now, granted, Troy Polamalu a lot of times was not following the playbook. He was improvising or freelancing on the field. It worked for him very, very well. Hall of Famer. If he's not in the Hall of Fame already, he'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. This guy is not going to have the type of freedom that Troy Polamalu has. But there will be times, I'm sure the opposition, especially in college, these guys will have no idea what this specific player position is going to do. Here are some intangible attributes that you want for this particular player, the Leo linebacker hybrid. Ability to read and react. Ability to move in space. Explosiveness in space. Burst, twitch off the ball. Physicality at the point of attack. Those are all things you want a lot of players to have, but specifically for this guy, because he's not only going to go up against sometimes offensive linemen, tight ends, running backs, he's going to drop into coverage, and sometimes it will be lined up against wide receivers. So he's going to have to be able to adjust very, very quickly. This is a completely different type of move for a 4-2-5 than what you're used to. Most 4-2-5s, your hybrid player is a strong safety type, maybe 6'2 to 6'4, 220 to 230, maybe 215 to 230, maybe running a 4-4-4-5, and he's more back in the back half, the secondary down to the linebacker position, changing things at that point, not changing things in the front. Jim Knowles, he's found a way to have his team have a hybrid in the front and have a variation and creativity in the back half of the secondary, and it's all going to work so well for Ohio State. Ohio State's offense is very innovative and different, and using two tight ends, well, a tight end and an H-back, with Rossi. I always call Rossi a tight end, but I think technically he is a H-back or a fullback with his body type and the way that he is utilized at Ohio State. But this is great for Ohio State. Ohio State, I think, needed some type of variation. There's also those times when you lose a game and that loss shows you so much that you need to change your ways. And by changing your ways, you go completely outside of the box to what you're used to doing. Ryan Day wanted to run wanted to have 4 linemen on defense. He wanted to run a 4-2-5. He wanted to have 4 linemen on defense. That's what Ryan Day wanted to have. And Ryan Day quickly realized, hey, if I'm going to bring in a different defensive coordinator, let him call the shots. Yeah, I know that I'm an offense. I know what I don't want to go against. I know that I'm an offensive coach, and I know what I don't want to go against. But how about I just let the defensive guy call the shots? How about I just let that guy be the one to tell all of us what we're going to do on defense? And that's what we're seeing right now. Ryan Day is backing away, letting Jim Knowles control things. My guess is Jim Knowles is the one with his hands all over these coaching hires. Tim Walton, Perry Eliano, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, all the defensive coaches, quality control guys, whoever it is, I bet you Jim Knowles is having his hand on everything. Because Ryan Day he's young as a head coach. He's young in general. But he's also learning very, very quickly. I don't know everything. Well, I'm sure he knows that, but I got to back away. My ideas might not work right now, and I got to let somebody else who knows more about this side of the ball call the shots. And by doing so, I think Ohio State's defense will be lethal next year. Hey, Buckeye fans, this is Jay Stevens with an incredible app everyone who buys gas needs to know about. Get Upside. My listeners are making up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code SCORE and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Just download the app for free and use promo code SCORE, that's SCORE, to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 to $300 a month in cash back, and there's no catch. The cash back gets added right to your account. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card, or Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code SCORE to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. That's promo code SCORE, SCORE. Now that we know all about the Leo position, who's going to play it? What player or players? Hopefully not players. I don't want to go through another season talking about Ohio State playing way too many guys on defense. But what players are going to play it? What players fit this role? The first guy that I have on my list, I got 6 guys listed here. First one, though, is Cade Stover, 6'4", 255-pound tight end, linebacker, probably linebacker next year. I think this is his role, and I think he's going to excel. I mean, literally excel at this role. And this might be the best way for Cade Stover to get to the NFL is by playing this position next year. Because you're not only going to be playing a little outside linebacker, inside linebacker, defensive end, stand up, 2-point stance. You're going to get all of those things in there. And NFL executives, coaches, and scouts, they're going to see this and say, wait, this guy, he hasn't played linebacker. He played linebacker once during the 2021 season. It was in a bowl game. He played linebacker all 2022. And, man, it was a great switch for him. It might be a great fit for us and our team as well. I think Cade Stover is ideal for this. Number 2, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, 6'5", 255 pounds. The regular defensive end that Ohio State is used to seeing won't be there like normal. Now, there will be times that they're going to have, of course, in passing situations, you're going to have your passing defensive line out there, your pass rush defensive line. Would it be ideal for him to be there at that time? Probably. But I don't think even at that time, Javonte Jean-Baptiste would be a person that I would say, hey, buddy, yeah, you're going to be on this team. You're going to be there situationally. at defensive end. I don't see it based on the personnel and based off the players that are better than him already. I don't see it at all. But if he wants to get on the field consistently, Leo, that's his. Another one, though, I'm up in the air about this one. I don't know if he has a speed for it. Jack Sawyer, 6'4", 250. And with Jack Sawyer, this is one as well where I'm thinking, okay, well, you're going to run a normal 3 lineman front. Your linemen are going to be heavier than Jack Sawyer. If it was Ohio State's old way of defense, Jack Sawyer would not be moving to the lead to a linebacker spot. It would be more him staying where he is because he can flourish off a line of scrimmage. I think Jack Sawyer, though, it's one, you have 3 more years with Jack Sawyer. So you have plenty of time to work with him if this is going to be where he's going to go. Might have to shave some pounds, 5, maybe 10 pounds, maybe, depending on speed at 250. Lose 5 pounds. What's the speed at 245? Okay, a little bit better, a little bit lighter, a little bit smoother. Let's go to 240. And then I will stop there. I wouldn't go any further than 240. But Jack Sawyer is another one that I think could fit this role. JT Tuamaloau, this is one that I'm going back to his high school film. And in his high school film, I saw him move so well in space at 275. I wonder if they shave him, if he loses some weight to fit this role. I don't know specifically, because I know he wanted to be a defensive end in a 4 lineman defensive front. That's not going to happen if he sticks at Ohio State. But with him I do believe he'll stick at Ohio State, and by him doing so, I wonder if he'll be one guy that stays at the DN spot, or if he'll have a little bit more fun and roam in space at 260, maybe out there playing that Leo spot. That's what I'm curious about, because I think he is a guy that can do it. I just don't know if his body type is the one that Jim Knowles wants to shave some pounds to do so. One guy that I think will not play this at all, and I've seen enough film from him, enough tape game rep from him to know that it would not be wise for him to switch from defensive end to this Leo, is Zach Harrison. At first, I was like, oh, Zach Harrison could do that. And then I looked back and I looked at more into the Leo and looked back at what Zach Harrison did during the season. No, sirree, Bob. That's all I got to say. No. You may say yes. Let me know why in the comment section. If you think Zach Harrison fits this, fill up that comment section with why. I would love to know why. I see your comments all the time. If they get into the held for review section on YouTube, I check those as well. One other guy that I did not talk about is Sonny Styles. 6'4", 215, reclassified. He's technically going to be a senior in high school. Physically, by his body, by grade, he's going to be a freshman at Ohio State in the fall. For Sonny Styles to fit this role instead of playing one of these safety spots in Jim Knowles' defense, Sonny Styles will have to gain roughly 30 pounds. Nah, I wouldn't say 30 pounds. He's 215. Roughly 20 pounds. Roughly 20 pounds he would have to gain. Now, that's not crazy. A lot of guys gain 20 pounds, 15, 20 pounds once they get to the collegiate level to play the football. They know that quarterbacks are going to have to gain weight because they're small. Running backs are going to have to gain weight because they need to add some muscle. Old linemen are going to have to gain weight because they're just not big enough. I mean, this is normal. And so Sonny Styles doing that, I wonder, and I think he has the height. He has the athletic ability. Gaining 20 pounds is not crazy. Can he keep the speed while doing it? I would love to say yes. That's to be determined, though. But that's another guy that I think could fit this role in long term. Could be the most ideal fit. After Stover's gone, Sawyer, if he moves there, Sonny Styles might be an ideal spot. I mean, literally ideal for this position. Thank you guys for tuning in to Locked On Buckeyes here on the Locked On Podcast Network. You can follow me on Twitter at jstevens07. You can also send all of your emails to jstevens317 at gmail.com. I want to remind everyone very quickly to make sure you check out the Locked On Bets podcast. You may be a person that loves sports betting and you love a podcast that helps you get your daily fix pick of the day to make sure you are ahead of the game to make money every single day. The Locked On Bets podcast is the place for you. Subscribe to the Locked On Bets podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your fine podcast.